We begin with politics and the week that was. CBS News is now projecting a Democratic win for Senate candidate Catherine Cortez Masto in Nevada, giving Democrats a majority in the United States Senate, thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Quite a week in politics, indeed. Martha Teichner will start us off. Then David Pogue has a quick study on one ever-changing variable in our political system, in state after state, year after year.
Here's where we are as the midterm vote count drags on and on. The House is still in play, leaning Republican, just barely.
There it is. That's the check mark.
Oh, wow.
Catherine Cortez Masto declared by our decision desk the winner of the Nevada Senate race.
Now that Catherine Cortez Masto has been projected to win in Nevada, and with Mark Kelly's apparent victory in Arizona.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
The Democrats have likely held the Senate. If they win the December runoff between Senator Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker in Georgia, they'll actually pick up a seat.
We're in overtime. That means we got a runoff. Hey, I was built for this. I was built for this.
You have to admit that I did warn y'all that we might be spending Thanksgiving together.
Based on what usually happens in the midterms, inflation worries and Republican expectations.
It's going to be a big red wave no matter what people in the media say.
You're feeling confident,
Take
all
it
right.
to the bank.
Democrats were supposed to lose big.
We're going to see not just a red wave, but a red tsunami.
So what happened to the red wave?
Democrats had a strong night, and we lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first midterm election in the last 40 years.
Perhaps it's best to think of it as all about Dobbs, denialism, and the Donald.
Susan Glasser is a New Yorker staff writer and co-author of The Divider, Trump in the White House.
Democrats made a pretty strong case that Republicans had become a party of extremism. However, I would point out to another factor as well. The political euphemism of the year this year is candidate quality. And really that is just another way of saying that the Republicans ran some pretty bad candidates in some of these key races, many of them supported and pushed by Donald Trump.
Think TV doctor turned Senate candidate Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania, who lost.
You all in on this?
Well, I think if they win, I should get all the credit, and if they lose, I should not be blamed at all.
Former Trump stalwarts are piling on.
I mean, I think Trump's kind of a drag on our ticket.
If you want the Republican Party to thrive, we've got to just finally speak out and say this man is a loser.
He's been called the name he hates most.
Donald Trump is the biggest loser.
But wait, a reality check.
If the balance of power changes in any significant way, meaning do Republicans take control of the House, that is going to have a big impact. And that's still, in some ways, a successful midterm for the Republicans.
Julian Zelizer is a professor of history and public affairs at Princeton University and author of Burning Down the House, about former Speaker Newt Gingrich.
What was our mission? To win the majority, to stop Biden's agenda, and fire Nancy Pelosi. All of that is accomplished.
Power is power, even with some races still undecided. Kevin McCarthy, the would-be Speaker of a Republican House, has already formed a transition team and has been consulting Gingrich, in Zelizer's view, the patriarch of no-holds-barred partisanship.
Let's talk about what the welfare state has created. Let's talk about the moral decay of the world the left is defending.
If you're making a bet about where a Speaker McCarthy would go, the safe bet would be he'll be aggressive. He's going to use the kind of language that Gingrich always promoted. He's going to try to vilify and put Democrats and the Biden administration under constant investigation. So a ripple or a wave, either way, what you're going to have is probable gridlock.
McCarthy is among the more than 300 GOP candidates for state and federal office this year who are 2020 election deniers. More than 180 have been projected to win so far, including at least 4 in races for secretaries of state, the officials in charge of elections, although notably not in Arizona, Michigan, and Georgia, key battleground states.
That's the question of 2022. Do the ones who win have enough power? Are they situated in the right places? Does the 2024 election unfold in such a way that their influence is still enormous?
I'm going to be making a very big announcement on Tuesday, November 15th at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida.
These midterms, after all, set the stage for 2024, a stage Donald Trump fully intends to dominate, as he is expected to announce his candidacy this week.